It takes time to figure out who you are. It also takes time to figure out what you want. While the two seem like odd choices to start a reflection on a summer internship experience, they're entirely fitting to my journey. I didn't expect to be here. What I expected is to be prepping for a new school year. My classes full of budding seniors looking to craft the perfect college essay, my media lab brimming with smiles and deadlines, and my colleagues and I carrying on side conversations about everything else we'd rather be doing than listening to an overpaid administrator. I didn't expect to be emerging from a pandemic and entering my second year of doctoral studies. And I didn't expect to be spending my summer work with the archives of one of my journalism idols. My summer allowed me to move from the former high school teacher who couldn't think of doing anything else but growing old and retiring from the same school to the Ph.D. student who became confident in his abilities to make a difference beyond the four walls I confined myself to previously. My name is Patrick Johnson, and I'm a doctoral student in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication. My Obermann Humanities for the Public Good internship focused on creating an interactive timeline for special collections and archives using Tom Brokaw's press passes that are in the collection he donated to the university. And yes, that Tom Brokaw, the renowned journalist known as one of the faces of the news. He's been to places all around the world. He's been at the royal wedding. He's been at the funerals of dignitaries, including Princess Diana. He's been the voice of the Olympics and the voice of reason at several presidential debates. He's inspired multiple generations of future journalists, including me. In total, I cataloged over 500 individual files this summer, spanning almost 7 decades. Those files became 152 events on a timeline that includes 152 passes, 152 summaries, and 70 videos and archive photos. That timeline was market tested with journalism teachers around the country. It was shared with Brokaw himself. And in a few weeks, just before it officially goes live, it will also include audio from an interview with Brokaw himself. I was able to use all the research skills my PhD program fosters. I also got to draw on my former career as a high school teacher. The two areas in unison, at least to me, embody the goal of producing work for a public good. From time and project management to database building and digital asset organization, this experience was full of enriching opportunities to grow as a scholar, teacher, and communicator. Throughout this process, I gained a renewed love of history from exploring it through the lens of Brokaw's passes. I felt as though I was traveling along with him. Brokaw was so happy and excited by the process that he sent me a signed first edition of his book, Boom. The book that is the reason I stand before you as a journalism educator. With it, he shared a message. Quote, "Reporters expect to get into heaven on a press pass," end quote. If that's the case, then Brokaw will gain entry many times over. That alone also helped me to recognize the unity that is a press pass, a camaraderie that very few know and even fewer share. But in the end, what I learned the most is really reflective of myself. I'm a perfectionist and plagued by the desire to achieve that in all things I do. Yet history and journalism are messy. Brokaw's extensive collection taught me that. Journalism is unexpected. Etching in pencil, as Brokaw's appointment book revealed to me, and the ability to change on the fly could mean the difference between getting a story and getting a scoop. In Brokaw's case, the erasure marks, the ones that showed change and aversion to perfection, were the difference between his assigned trip and him being on scene for the fall of the Berlin Wall. Yeah, I learned that I can't be perfect, and that the eraser marks aren't the sign of failure, but the symbol of adaptation. In the end, this internship and the archival experience I had with the Brokaw collection showed me that the world wasn't made to be perfect. That imperfection is why we have so many stories still to tell.